My name is Jen, and today I'm going to be drawing a dragon for Inktober. This would be day 5. Yeah, I'm posting it 6 days later, but it took me a little longer to edit it than normal, and I couldn't figure out how to edit things because I haven't used any editing software for over a year at least, so I had to do a quick refresher course. So this is the sketch done with Clip Studio Paint, EX or Extra. I don't actually know what that stands for, to tell you the truth, but I've had this program for 2 years or more and don't use it that often, but it's easy to sketch in, so I decided to use it for this. And this is sped up because if I hadn't sped it up, the sketch alone is 10 minutes and the section after this is like 45 minutes at least, and that's very long for a YouTube video. And I didn't want to make one that long, or have to edit one that long, because it's not that I don't have the time for that. I do have the time for that, because I'm not in uni anymore, which is why I've decided to make YouTube art videos, because I'm bored. And without having to go do uni work, I need something to do. And, I could read and draw for myself, and I need something else to do to pass the time. So I thought, hey, I'll make YouTube art videos and hopefully won't get bored or end up getting really busy with other things and not be able to make any more besides this one, which hopefully I end up making more. I want to make more, because I actually do like making videos. I just I never know what to say half the time, or I ramble and stutter and or mix Scottish words up with Scots is English, but certain phrases that some people might not know unless they know somebody who's Scottish with what I'm saying, and then people look confused or ask me questions what I meant to say. But anyway, see, rambling. So I'm drawing a pet dragon here, so that's why he looks kind of cutish, we'll say. I do draw a lot of cute things, usually. Sometimes I try to draw angry dragons, but 9 times out of 10 they end up looking cute, and not always fuzzy, but they end up looking cute, because I tend to make really, round, pudgy dragons with stubby wings and, little cute spots or cute colors, so they're not angry dragons on the whole. I can make 3D angry dragons, but sometimes they still end up looking cute. So that's a problem too, I guess, really. But there's nothing wrong with being cute, no matter how old you are. And I'm older. I'm not in a hospital bed or anything like that, or breaking my hip every time I walk. I might break my hip every time I walk, but that's not because I'm older, that's because of the MS. But anyway, see, rambling. I gotta stop doing that. But it's what I'm known for, rambling. Anyway, back to drawing cute dragons. I'll try not to ramble so much, which, no promises, because I ramble. It drives hubby insane. It drives a lot of people insane, probably. But, anyway. So, I'm going to do this. On to the next section. So I'm finalizing what the sketch. I made it as big as possible here. And if I had this slowed down, you could probably see how shaky my hand is. Mostly due to the MS. It doesn't happen when I'm working, on traditional art, but that could be due to 30 plus years of muscle memory. And I'm relatively new to digital work, maybe 5 years, 8 years, something like that. So I can't remember. But I've used traditional stuff like painting, color pencils, etching, just graphite, everyday pencil, pastels, which I know every YouTuber loves. But I actually like pastels, so I'll probably do a few videos of them too. Oil or chalk or soft, whatever you want to call them. Different ways to use them, because there are a few different ways you can use, especially oil pastels. You can use them more traditional paints even, actually, which is fun. Kind of toxic, but fun anyway. So, he's got a bone in his mouth, so it could be human, could be an animal, I don't know. It could be something, but I'm just messing around with the brushes here because it didn't work. And I'm just using a normal G pen brush here. You've got different brushes you can use on the left side of the screen. Some of them show up there. You can also download some brushes. Some of them are free, some of them aren't. It just depends on what you're looking for. There's quite a lot of free brushes, actually, which is quite handy when you want to have a different effect. But this one is just a basic pen, gives you a nice smooth line. It's got a tapering off point, or a tapering on and off point, actually, so it creates that kind of almost true pen look. There's a few different brushes. This one is easier to use if you're filling in bigger spaces. The other ones act more like a traditional dip and ink and dip pen, so you've got to like constantly stop and start. With this one you can have more of a continuous flowing line to it. It fills up more space. Fills up a lot more space in less time. But yeah, I got Fido wrong. It's not like I spelled it wrong. It's spelled right. It just didn't look right. It's a little hard to read. So I'm just adding basic, simple black shapes or shading here, just so it doesn't look so plain and boring. Adds a bit of texture to him too. And just slightly adding a bit of shading. I'll add more later on, like different lighter tones. I did try to keep this as black and white because Inktober, but I would like to add a bit more color to it. And this is me messing around with layers because I forgot to label my layers. So I was messing around trying to figure out what layer was what. And I'll never learn, no matter what anybody tells me, especially hubby. Always forget to label my layers, so I'm usually spending 5 or 10 minutes trying to figure out what layer I need. I really need to label my layers, or it would save so much more time. You'd think I'd learn having taken a graphics design course in uni, but, hey, I'll never learn. It's just me being lazy, I guess. But yeah, so like I said before, done uni, so I need something to do, going to do this. And because now I know I definitely, more than likely have passed my master's, I will need something to do, because I'll be really bored, and I will read on my own time and create art. I will need something when I can't find anything to read, or I can think of anything to draw, I'll need something to do. So I thought, let's make YouTube videos again, because now I have the time. I don't have to either do homework for graphic design or read more science fiction books for the masters in lit that I did. Because when you read books for a lit course, you have to analyze that, and that can get really boring and take not so much enjoyment out of the book, because I love science fiction, but you have to constantly think about what you're reading, and that can get tedious, we'll say, or make you really tired. And but yeah, so I'm adding grays to this. I picked the colors from the color wheel on the lower left, added a bit of dark gray. I actually just recently started drawing like this. I've got either a really cartoony style or a really realistic style. This is more of like a comic style, I guess. I'm not really sure what you would call this. Comic, it's more illustrative than what I normally draw illustrative. And it works. I actually quite like it. Wish I had a drawn like this before, but style is always changing. It always evolves. It depends on what you decide to practice and how much you practice, I guess. I probably should have used this program a lot previously, and then I would have discovered this style like a few years ago rather than 4 days ago, or wait, now it's 9 days ago, because I filmed this over the course of about 4 days and only got around to film this voiceover today, the 11th, I think it is today. I don't know what day it is. I think it's Friday. Could be Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. I get my days messed up. And this is me just messing with the layers again, which, once again, like I said, forgot the label. So, there's 2 or 3 different shading levels, I didn't label them 1, 2, or 3, so I'm trying to figure out what labels are what, so that I can then add any overlays or anything else I need to it, or whether the shading looks better above the black line or below the black work. It sometimes looks better behind, sometimes over. It just depends on what you're drawing. And I'm messing around with the background colors at the moment because I wasn't too keen on the white. It was a bit too stark. So I thought we'll go with like a tan kind of color. That kind of works more like a tan paper you get in a sketchbook kind of. But it works, but I wasn't 100% sold on it. But it works for what I'm trying to do. Like, add a highlight to it, because now I can see it against the white background, as before couldn't see it. And then, what am I doing next? I decided at the end to go with the black above the shading. That looked better. And then, what am I doing next? See, my hand, you can tell my hand kind of shakes there. But, like I said, more normal But now I'm adding shading to the whole background, so he's not just floating in space. Because he looks really aimless, we'll say. Just basic, quick marks. Nothing very accurate or very impressive, we'll say. It's just to give him something to stand on, so he's not flying away or looks so plain. It kind of works. It's simple, but it works. It works for the ink effect, because you can see how the brush creates this, like, thinning, pointy kind of effect that you can sometimes get with pens, like actual physical pens. So I just made the layer a little bit more opaque so I could see it and erase what overlaid the actual drawing. So he was maybe sitting on top of the shading, because it just looked like you couldn't see what he was sitting on. So then I put the opacity back up to 100, and now you can see where he's standing on the shading rather than the shading being over him. And me once again messing with the background color, purple, and I didn't really like the purple, and back to the brown, which is maybe a bit too orange. Back to that. I probably should have kept it. Did I keep this one? I can't remember. Yeah, I did keep this one. So this is the final dragon, and he looks okay. So hopefully I will get around to filming another one this weekend, and I will see you soon.